Hi, folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And where are we going today?
We're off to find the Bentonite Hills, and they are on the east side of Capitol Reef National Park.
Well, we know we're on the right road, and we know we're headed in sort of the right direction. But who knows where we'll really end up?
Yeah, I found a couple different pinpoints for where the Bentonite Hills are, and there could be several locations. We're going to try the Hartnet Road location and see what we can find.
It should be a great Jeep ride up. The road's in great shape, so it's going to be very straightforward. Lower the tires to about 18 psi to make the ride a little bit more comfortable. So our first order of business is to drive across the Fremont Creek. River. Actually, it's the Fremont River. Unfortunately, somebody's blocking it. Green's just giving me the directions. So we're crossing the river crossing, and the land that we're crossing right now is all private land. And just for your information, this is Hartnet Road. So as I was just saying, I've got the tires lowered, and we're heading up to the top of the escarpment. It's a pretty nice, well-graded road, so it's very easy to go up. And we are on BLM land right at the moment. We'll probably cross back into the Capitol Reef National Park here in a minute or two. In fact, there won't be a lot of drone video as we're driving in because we're back and forth on the national park. So hopefully when we get to the Bentonite Hills, which are in BLM land, we'll be able to do a little bit more drone photography. The following is a little behind-the-scenes conversation between Corinne and I. We had just switched drivers so that I could fly the drone while we drove through this gnarly pit of road. And I thought the conversation was funny. Managing okay?
Yep.
Great.
I don't get to drive too often.
Well, you could ask to drive more.
Yep.
I'm always willing to let you. So right in here, I am trying to get the drone organized. And of course, we're bouncing around pretty good. So that's what the next part of the conversation is about.
Am I bouncing you around too much?
It's a little challenging, but I'm okay. Mostly, I'm just a
fumble fingers?
Yeah, it's just making me fumble fingers more than anything else. There. Just put that one where it belongs. You should be just fine. Fantastic. Thank you. So this road continues to be pretty nice. We're now going across some private property as we continue along the Hartnet Road. This so far is really, I just describe this as a bumpy county road at this point. It's not really any kind of a challenge for a four-wheel drive vehicle. So just a nice, beautiful drive across some beautiful landscape. It wasn't long before we were back on some BLM land, and we could do a little bit of drone photography of the drive along the road. And we finally reached to the top. Absolutely beautiful spot along the trail. So the Jeep's parked here on the side of the road, a little pull off, and we use this to park while we did a little exploration at the top here. Well, as you can tell, the wind was just howling, so we weren't able to put the drone up for any drone views this afternoon. But we did spend some time taking some photographs and some video from the top. Well, the wind's calming down a little bit out here. But as you can see, this is just absolutely gorgeous. These layered hills going all the way around. Of course, we got the nice white puffy clouds over top, make it beautiful. And then we have these two pinnacles up here that are really quite attractive.
You know I want you close, maybe hold your hand a little while. Somehow I know you're gonna be the girl that I'll end up calling my own. We ride around in style, sleeves rolled up, glasses on, and then you make that smile and my heart starts racing when I'm with you.
Well, it took us a while, but we found camp for the night. And we got the camping set up, the Harker EDC. It's still kind of breezy, but we're hoping the breeze will calm down a little bit. And we're kind of also hoping that those big rainy clouds over there stay over there. Right now it's a beautiful evening, and we're just going to sit a little bit out of the wind. So Corinne and I are having a little rest, sitting out here, enjoying the end of the sunshine. We might actually get some color on those clouds over there, but it'll be a while before we'll know that. So anything to add, Corinne?
Nope, it's a comfortable temperature and breezy, but pleasant.
Yes, definitely breezy. We're continuing on our breezy evenings that we had while we were on our way to Texas and back. And it just seems to be continuing right along.
Well, at 8 o'clock we came up from our campsite to a little hillside, saw a glow behind a hill in the west, thought we could grab our cameras and get a shot off, but by the time we got up here, the clouds had snuffed out the color entirely, so it only lasted maybe 4 or 5 minutes, about the time it took to grab cameras and get up the hill. We didn't think there was much chance, and so we hadn't set up earlier. We just thought, oh, there might be a little bit of glow, so we'll quickly grab our cameras and see what we could get. But it was not to be tonight. We're pretty well surrounded by clouds. There's some clear skies directly overhead, but almost all the horizon has a cloud cover. There's our view to the west where the sun went down. You can see just a little patch of blue sky between layers of cloud there. But there must have been some pretty good cloud on the horizon. The glow didn't last long. There's patches here and there where we see openings in the cloud. But it looks like we'll be clouded over tonight. It's still windy, but I don't think it'll be too bad for us. We'll probably pack up our cameras and head back, climb inside the tent and relax for an hour. Shawn, you're diligently still trying to get something with your camera?
Well, I'm trying to get ready to have the opportunity, if we get 2 seconds of good light, that I'm actually ready. But I don't have much hope. I think we saw what we saw, and I got an iPhone picture. And that's about the extent of it. Well, good morning, folks. It's the next day. We've got everything all packed up in the Jeep, and we're kind of getting ready to head off.
Yeah, it was a bit windy for the early part of the night, but then the wind settled down and I've got a pretty good night's sleep. I don't think Shawn's slept too well, but it always takes him time to adjust to the Jeep.
I always have to adjust to a new bed and new
Sounds.
new sounds. That's actually what I have to get adjusted to, is the new sounds. But we were nice and toasty. The Harker EDC tent and canopy and heater and all that worked terrific. So it was a nice warm evening, even though it got down into the 40s. And by the way, I'll link to a video that we did on our Harker EDC down below if you'd like to see it. Well, after we got our camp all packed up, it was time to head back to the Bentonite Hills. One of the nice things about this morning is it was very, very calm, and we were very optimistic that we'd get some good light when we got back to the hills to do some photography and hopefully take some drone video as well.
Well, we've got some pretty nice conditions for taking a few photos this morning, and Shawn's doing some drone shots. It's high overcast clouds today. The sun's trying to break through. It may break through pretty well in just an hour or so. So the sun's trying to burn off that cloud layer. There's not too many shadows, and the sun is not too intense on the hills yet. So I got out my Canon camera and I'm doing some shots here, and I'll talk a little about the composition I'm doing. So the Bentonite Hills are a combination of kind of a bluish tinge, some deep reds, and a lot of bright whites. So you want to make sure that when you set up your exposure, you don't overexpose those whites. It's a good idea to pull up your camera's histogram. I've got mine up on the back of the camera here right now. Just checking that I got a nice mid-range histogram. I'm doing a little dark just because that tends to bring out the colors a bit more. If you go too bright, the colors look more muted. I've also put on a circular polarizer so that it helps with the color saturation a bit, and then I'll be able to bump things up a little bit more in camera.
While I was busy with the drone up at the top of the hill, Corinne walked down into the wash to look for some interesting and different compositions.
Looking out here, if you aim certain ways, you'll see kind of a lot of clutter of rolling rocks that have tumbled down from the upper hillsides where there's a harder rock formation on the top that's broken up and rolled down the crevices. So it's a good idea to try and look at your composition, see if there's any distracting elements, and try to do what you can to minimize them. I'm trying to zoom in on some of the colors here in the rolling hills and get some of this curving shapes that are out here and make that more of my composition. So I'm zoomed in quite tight and also looking for a good blend of colors.
And here is a short section of video and photographs that we took that morning.
piece of equipment here behind this truck. If anyone knows what this might be, put a comment down in the comment section below and let us know.
Corinne, what did you think of our trip out to the Bentonite Hills?
Well, it was a great chance to explore a spot we've talked about a number of times, but always seemed to drive right on by. So I enjoyed the chance to get out there.
Yeah, it was really good. I can't tell you the number of times we said, yeah, we should go to the Bentonite Hills as we drove by the entrance road. So it was really good that we made the turn and actually went and explored it.
There's some good examples of Bentonite Hills very close to the river crossing. So if you don't feel like driving out about 10, 12 miles to the actual Bentonite Hills, you'll find some good examples on the left-hand side as you head out, and they're just as photogenic.
Yeah, actually, they seem to be a little bit more intense. I think in color, yeah, the lines are a little bit sharper, and it makes them a little bit more defined. So even if you decide to go all the way out, it would be worth stopping there to take that picture. Well, Corinne, I think it's time to end this video. And if you folks enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to see more of our videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell notification icon down there as well, so that you will be notified when we post a new video.
And as always, we love hearing from you. Don't hesitate to leave us a comment, an idea, a thought. Just say hello. We really appreciate it. And until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.